I decided to study social and cultural anthropology because I wanted to study comparative religions, and I didn't get into this, and then I came into anthropology because that was the nearest that was there back then in Berlin at the Freie Universität Berlin.
I was interested in different languages, in languages around the world, and actually had planned to study comparatistic, which is the comparative study of languages. And I was lucky enough that I had a teacher in school who was a geography teacher, and my geography teacher told me, "My God, you'll bore yourself to death. Study anthropology, because anthropology will teach you to study people's lives and cultures and also their languages, but you wouldn't have to look into the structures of a language that much."
And I was interested in different ideologies and in a kind of cultural relativism that was already taught at my gymnasium, at my secondary school. There was a teacher who was into anthropology, and he was fostering ideas about cultural relativism in us, so this is how I got there.
And he was right. I started to study, and in my first week I realized that this is what I want to spend my life with.
I wouldn't say it's an outstanding science. I think it's a subject or an approach as valuable and useful as many others. For me, the interesting thing is that you can follow your own ideas, that if you have a question in life, this can be something that can be put into your studies.
Social and cultural anthropology is probably the only science that works with the human person who is the researcher most. You need to be a very reflexive person who's able to want to understand a phenomena, to want to understand the people you're working with.
It enables us to bring together personal experience in our social world, personal crisis or collective crisis like politics that we experience today, the coming back of the right-wing parties all over the world, racism, neoliberalism, and so on, to take these questions that we engage with on a personal level, on a collective level, and then transform them into an academic endeavor in the form that we try to find answers to these questions that go beyond the individual understanding or individual framework that normally people explain things within.
And really need to indulge into these worlds they want to study. And this is probably the only science that does it in that kind of reflexive way. People get so close to each other. It actually builds on relationships. Our science is a science that builds on deep and meaningful relationships with people, and we need to be ethical about this. We need to be reflexive about our own role, and we need to be able to then see the larger patterns, and that makes it fascinating and worthwhile. For me, it's the only science that I could do.